What is poppin', everybody? Here we are again for another episode of WarCast. Now, if the banging song in the background didn't give it away for you, I'm here to tell you that we are doing an interview with our exclusive artist from War Media, Damian Adams. Now, we talk about a bunch of really dope, interesting, mind-opening things on this here episode. We talk about lasagna. Better believe it, we brought it up. We talk about beef with this dude, I forget his name, it's hard to remember, he's like a nobody. Oh, TooFaced, I remember now. This fucker's name is TooFaced, and we talk about the beef we had. Anyways, I'm gonna let him do the bean spilling on that one. And we talk about all kinds of things. Travis Scott's tragedy, we talk about the industry as a whole, we talk about where he's been, where he's going, and things of that nature. Now, in our other episodes, we already had BTB, Brad Taylor Briggs, and we had a dope-ass episode with the YouTuber slash influencer, Snowy Joe. So if you didn't see those, you're going to want to go back and check them out because they're really dope. Now, without further ado, let's get into this interview with my boy, Damian Adams. Check it out, and welcome to the war, baby.
Go.
We are going live in 3, 2, 1. What is good, all you people? Here we are again for another episode of WarCast. We're bringing you another artist here signed to the label. This is my boy, Damian Adams. Damian, what's good? Talk to the people. Tell them how you feeling.
What's good? I'm feeling great. I'm drinking some fucking bourbon.
Bourbon, you got good taste. I see that.
Oh, yeah.
You're wearing the FedEx ground jacket. You still working for FedEx?
Fuck no.
Fuck
It's
no,
just
he
comfortable.
says.
It's just comfortable.
Being comfy is important. All right, so before we get into like your job and all that type of thing, just tell the people like, who is Damian Adams? Where'd you come from? What's your goal? What's your specialties? And all that type of thing.
Well, I am Damian Adams and 21 years old. I live here in Norwich, Connecticut. I was from Westerly, born and raised. And I'm a music engineer slash producer slash artist.
Word. So do you produce music for all different genres? Anyone that's willing to pay you? Or are you like specialize in one thing or what?
Anything, whether it's being paid, doing it for charity, or just collabing with artists.
Word. So when you create music yourself, what kind of vibes do you like to put out?
I'm a big R&B artist, but I like to rap. So
R&B and rap. That's a good combination.
So yeah.
So who's a R&B artist that you look up to?
Well, there's a few new artists I've been liking recently. I'm big on Tory Lanez and like Chris Brown, but I like the new kind of like rap hybrid guy, Don Toliver, and some other artists like Eric Bellinger, like crazy vocals, very atmospheric. They just sound amazing. And like when I do my songs, I go for a lot of atmosphere, lyrical ability, and just making it known to the people that they can listen to somebody and relate.
Word, I feel that. And obviously we both know each other pretty well. We're both signed to the same label, whatever. So I've known your music for a long time. Agreed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we both know what the deal is with that. And I can say when I listen to a lot of your music, the first artist that comes to my mind as a listener it's like Travis Scott, you know.
I was waiting for that one.
Yeah, it's like your ad libs there. It's not the same, obviously, but it's very like I can see that atmospheric, you know, space that you're talking about. So yeah. Going along the lines of Travis Scott, you know what's been going on with Travis Scott, yeah?
Oh yeah, the whole Astrofest thing. Yeah. It's upsetting, but at the same time, like a lot of people blame him when he's just the artist there kind of doing his job. And it's not entirely his fault because as an artist, you're there to do your work. And, you know, the venue that posts all your shit there so that you're able to have your fans come in, you know, it's on them to really make sure everything's tidied down with security. And the fact that their venue didn't have security like full and brimmed out, like they were already low. They shouldn't have taken it. They shouldn't have offered him, and he shouldn't have taken it on his part too. But there's a lot of other contributing factors that led to, you know, people getting stuck with needles, people fainting, him not being able to hear everybody because he's performing on the stage. You can't control that.
Right. So if you were, someone in his position, you're like out on stage, you're performing your music, maybe you're, working with the artist that you produce with, where would you as an artist draw the line and say, this is enough, the show's over?
I guess when it comes down to like the logistics of things, of course I want to sell out. Of course I want to have full fucking stadiums. But like when we're at the stadium, I guess learning from experiences with everything else, I've been to concerts, it's just like there's a mosh pit area. There's an area for people to sit on the floor without having to mosh, and then there's stands. It's kind of like viewer discretion, or like buyers beware. When you go in there, what's expected of you is you're supposed to come and enjoy the show, have a great time, But when it comes down to like people raging and stuff, that's all part of performing. Like I know you're an artist that likes to do that hype dark shit, and like I fuck with it heavy, so do what you want, it's all on you. But like when it comes time to like when people are getting injured, and if I were to ever see like paramedics in the crowd, one is kind of like, all right, somebody didn't follow the rules correctly, whatever, keep going. If I see like fucking sirens and shit, that's when I'm gonna, pause the whole show. Just be like, all right, we're getting out of hand. We can have fun, but like if people are dying at my shows, I'm not gonna have shows. Like, it kind of comes down to like a classroom. Like, everybody follow the rules.
Exactly. And something that really shocked me was like, as an artist, you should know like who your fan demographic is, like, who you think is going to like your music, just like any other artist. And I was so shocked when I seen like how many of the people that got hurt, how young they were, like they were kids. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what parent is letting their kid go to a show like this? Why are there like 4, 5, 6, 7-year-olds going to mosh in a pit at a Travis Scott concert? Like the things he talks about is like, it shouldn't fall on the ears of children,
That's the whole thing too, is like these shows are every show, whether you going to a stand up or like the events are age restricted. So let's say you have a child friendly concert, 13 and up. That's cool. You're not seeing kids jumping off the stadium, nose diving down from their nosebleeds and fucking like, they're like, yeah. No, you're seeing kids there having fun dancing with their family. But then once you get the 18-year-olds and up, people are, starting to smoke some weed up in there. And then 21-year-olds, there's alcohol. You're not allowed to be in there at 21. So again, it does not fall on the artist. It falls on the venue. And it's their responsibility to make sure who is allowed in and who isn't.
For sure.
And I have friends that get fake IDs and go there. They're 17 years old and get fucked because it's just like, but it's not up to the artist. It's up to the venue.
Yeah. And I mean, that's like a part of growing up too, right? Like getting your fake ID, going out and have a good time. And it's like a big learning process. Like you learn the hard way when you're a little bit older, like 17, 18, like to be patient for those things and really enjoy them when you get there.
Oh yeah. It's a learning experience.
Yeah, for sure. So now moving over to like what you do, I know you said you produce for other artists. Is that something you do? Like you have the artist go to your place, or you have like a studio where like you rent it out, or like you work with another producer to use their space, or how does that work?
Currently, as where I'm right now, I work at a studio. Okay. So I work at a studio in Connecticut. It's in New London. It's called THR Studios. And, I'm their in-house producer, and I'm also an engineer that works there. So I'm pretty high up as well, who I'm like right under the guy that owns the place. But like, even, he's been telling me that like, he's been telling a lot of his clients that he's been pushing to me that I'm the best there. So it's just, for me, it's about coming up, and in that area that I work, that's what I do. I'm mainly an engineer and a producer, but like I'm also an artist. So it's I just work with people, and I never have people come here because one, I don't live at my own place yet. So it's like I'll produce at home, I'll master people's stuff here at home, and I'll record everybody in the studio there. But I'm currently right now a full-time musician.
Word. So you're working with the other artists over in this other studio. When you go to make your own music, do you do that in the comfort of your home, or do you also utilize that studio right there? Word. So you said you don't live by yourself. Is that, I picked that up right?
Yeah, but like I still have my own spot, you know.
Right. So like, do you live with roommates, or are you there with your parents, or how's that?
Currently live with my grandfather, and yeah, it's pretty much just like living on my own. We're both guys, so we just kind
Word.
of
Word. So does him
yeah.
ever like being home like affect your creative space? Because I know artists who like live with their parents still, or they like live with roommates, and they don't like working on music or recording music like when anyone's around. Does that affect you at all, or you just do it whenever you feel?
Um, I'd say it affects me a little bit, but it's like, when he's at work, I get to record. I get to record from that 9 to 5 time. But like, my 9 to 5 is me being a musician. So it's like I can record, I can always make beats. I can put them on the headphones and just make beats.
Right, right,
So when it comes to recording, as an R&B artist, I sing. So I tend to get a little bit loud when I sing. So that I really enjoy doing that by myself because
right.
I can be one with who I am and peace and just record.
Word. I feel that.
Mhm.
Now, say the day you're like ultra famous, would you still feel the most comfortable in your own home, or do you think you'd like have the atmosphere, the team built around you where you would do it, have someone else, in the same room as you?
So that's kind of a thing for me. So it's like it depends. It depends on who I'm working with, if I'm comfortable. But other than that, I don't think anything's gonna change if I'm famous or not. It's just gonna
Right,
be me, in my comfort zone, whether or not I live here or I live in my own home. If I'm famous and I, give myself a place, I'll record there. And the thing is too, I don't like building out big ass studios. I like the comfort of my room.
right, right.
But I think once it gets a little bit up there and I'm top tier and whatnot, if I ever become top tier, um, I think I'll build out like a room studio, like my room is my studio.
Right.
And that's just always how it's been,
I
Used to do fucking 18 hours of just me making music in my room. Why not keep it the same? That's where I make my
right.
best shit.
If it's not broke, don't fix it, right?
That's what I'm saying, man.
Now, if I was at your place, right? If me and you were chilling, having a
Mm-hmm.
beer, doing whatever we do, would you be comfortable with me in the room?
Fuck yeah.
Word. Why is that different than other people you know?
Because, well, one, it's different when it's like musical companions or friends. It's totally different. But like random people, see, it depends. If I'm in the room with like, let's say Travis Scott, I'm putting my hardest 16 down with Travis Scott right there.
Right,
Like, you
right.
know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
just falls down to like how you do it and when it's all timing.
Word. So I think you saw on my Instagram, I put up a little questionnaire, and I said if you could ask Damian Adams anything, what would it be? Did you see that? Word. So
I did.
I got a few nice little questions. To be honest with you, I don't even know who sent these in. So I'm just going to ask you one of the questions real quick.
Yeah.
The first question I got was, you've done some songs with Saint T, obviously the owner of this label. So
Mhm.
what is your favorite project that you have out right now with Saint T?
So it's been a minute since me and him did some work because he had the whole retire thing and then came back to just become a label owner, which honestly, I see that as his best path. Although he has some pretty strong attributes as being an artist, but I see him better as a platformer
Yeah, for sure.
with just he's very good at prioritizing. So it's like, I love the work that he did and all that, but I see him more fit there. As regarding to the project, I'd have to say somewhere along the lines of when me and him did some stuff on Demons and Angels on my album, and then stuff on his Saints and Sinners or Game Changer.
Word.
Because we did a lot of like R&B mixed with rap, and it was a lot of hybrid, and I could feel free to do whatever I could do,
Right.
variety.
And I mean, you're never going to find Saint T on any type of R&B hybrid unless you go and listen to the shit that you guys have together, right? Because that's like
It's like
it's like what he needed you in a sense, to give him that slice of sound, like no, I don't believe anybody else on the label has that R&B flair like you. Is that correct? I mean, I've listened to everyone on the label.
I think there's room for improvement, you know, because in my eyes, I see myself as the producer for this, label and also the R&B guy. But I think the other person that comes to mind in the label to come with an R&B sound would probably be BTB.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. He's definitely he's got that like melodicness to him,
Mm-hmm. But when it comes down to like what you're saying, the unique R&B sound, I think BTB has that melodic kind of like Juice WRLD sound. Yeah. But when it comes down to my work, it's not like that. It's very like R&B. You know what I mean? Right. It's because like BTB sings very well. He has very, very good vocals and vocal range. But like I said, he's that Juice WRLD.
Mm-hmm. I'm with it.
Yeah,
I totally agree. I mean, I commend all singers. Singing is something that, I think we all know here. Singing is something that I could never do, right? Like, I'm not a fucking singer. It's not even in the playing cards for me. I can't even try that shit. If I'm not low and deep, I can't do it. So, like, going back to the BTB thing, I know you saw, like, I take it you saw the BTB interview, yeah? I mean,
mm-hmm.
He kind of said a lot of the same things about himself. Now, do you have any singles with BTB? Like,
we actually just recently did a project together. It was a 3-song project, and it was called Iced Out Rose Petals.
Okay, and was that dropped by you or by him or on the label?
It was a collab thing. So it was one of them was my fully produced song, and it was called Lock In. I think me and him on there did very well. I just think that his stuff, it's hard because his stuff is very like I said, the Juice WRLD. It's just like it's more of that. Whereas, I can see myself hopping on absolutely anything, but Brad, it's the way about it. It's very not sing-songy, but sing-songy.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's difficult to explain.
I mean, me and you have a lot of songs together, and we are two totally different breeds, like.
Of course.
In my opinion, if you're going to be putting artists together, in my opinion, it's got to be either a drastic difference or it's got to be real close.
Exactly.
I don't feel like there's an in between, because otherwise it just makes it seem off. Like when me and you do songs together, it's like the R&B and then darkness, and that contrast is nice. And when you're just like going from here to here, it's kind of like you leave that little space where it's like, what the fuck is this? Like, what are they trying to make here? It can leave some people blind.
Yeah, I agree. There's also like when you're doing two different things, it can also not mesh well. So being closer together is also not only a negative, but it can also be a very good positive. So like you have to have the experience, and I think everything comes down to experience and knowing how to like easily switch between genres. So like yours is kind of like the metal trap. So it's like and like with recent collabs that we've done, how do I change from metal trap to my sort of mainstream uniqueness? So like our recent song that we did, Too Crazy.
Yep, that was a fucking banger, dude.
So I had to think to myself, how do I make this beat so that both of us can fit on it? So like you said about the Travis Scott type shit, I'm like, that shit works perfectly, because not only is it just hard ass 808s and good melody, and it's very atmospheric. So like it's not like anybody could miss tune with any like pitches they want to go with. It's kind of like monotone, but like you can still go crazy with the whatever, You
can go too crazy.
Exactly. So like my mind behind it was, how do I mix them? How do I mix them together? And as a producer, there's a lot more work behind it than just doing your shit. So I had to find a melody for you and a beat for you that I can hop on and complement your vocals with mine. So
Right.
so
And
I think, yeah.
when you sent me that beat, something that I noticed is I fucked with it heavy, like right off the rip. But I noticed to myself also, like, I was like, if I'm going to be spitting on this, I'm going to have to be going a little slower. Like, a lot of my stuff is like boom, 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 boom. And this had that darkness to it. But you probably noticed, like, I started off slower than I might normally would. And that is another attribute, you know, which leads into your style more once we pass it off. So, you know, like, that was a really good thing to do.
Oh yeah. And not only is like, so when I make beats for people that I do songs with, my constant goal is to challenge the person that I'm working with. And I believe that if you don't have challenge, there's no reason for you to be an artist.
Yeah, for sure.
So when I do songs with everybody, my goal is it's like a playful competition. I want to not outdo them, but I want to be able to do something that makes them think, is there any room for making my stuff better, right?
Pushing the boundaries.
Exactly. Any room for improvement.
Right.
So when I do songs with people, that's why I don't do them often. When I do them, it's me testing somebody else. And it's not because I think that I'm better than everybody, but it's more that I want to test and see if you are able to mesh well, because you need that in the industry. And I've seen a lot of people, whether it be in the studio or whether it's family that's in the industry, tell me multiple times that my beats were not good enough because you aren't meshing with the sound that's going on right now. You need to change your thing. So I'm thinking, how do I save my uniqueness and make sure it can be heard in the mainstream kind of genre, whether it be underground, whether it be mainstream, or whether it be something alt. So it's like, that's how I look at it. I took that and fueled myself with it, and then I'm pushing it on to everybody else. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I feel you. And that's like something I'm always talking to other artists about, because I feel like so many new artists, they're always trying to chase that sound that's hot right now. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, if you just came up with your own sound, it would be the sound of the day once you got to where you want to be. You know, like, if you're chasing the sound that's hot now, by the time you get there, guess what? It's not hot anymore.
Exactly. And the fact that you said that just made me remember something. It's like, when you chase a sound and it's all of a sudden you're like, why isn't it sounding good to people anymore? It's just when you come up with unique sounds and that ends up blowing up, imagine what your unique sound goes with other sounds and creates another unique sound and another one and another one. The next thing you know, you have this domino effect of, wow, this guy can just fit on everything, right? So you have just like, it's like Travis Scott going from his Antidote, what fucking banger shit, and then changing it. And now, like, in his most recent album, he had Juice WRLD, he had Frank Ocean, Sway Lee, Drake. He had everybody on that, and it did amazing.
Yeah,
it was just like Astroworld. Everybody knows Astroworld, you know. And like, he had J. Cole in his most recent thing. So it's just like, build your sound, create it. Once you create it, everybody sees it's like that unique sound that everybody doesn't do. And then they're like, let me put my style on that and see if it works. And if it works, bro, you just made a hybrid.
Right.
And I'm all about hybrid.
Oh yeah. That's what it's all about. I mean, I think a lot of people, maybe not the viewers, but like a lot of people that work in a label, they know, like, I'm a cook. Like, that's what I do for a living, you know? So like, a lot of times, like, because I'm only in like a few worlds, right? In my mind, I'm a cook, I'm an artist, you know, and that's it. So like, what I'm doing all the time in my mind, because, you know, like, the creator's mind is never stopping. You're always trying to draw conclusions. I'm always referencing how I'm making music to like how I cook, you know? So it's like mixing all the flavors. Yeah, dude. I tell people in the kitchen all the time, you build flavor in layers, right? And then as you add layers, you know, remove layers, cook layers off, you get different results. So that's just like exactly what you're saying, you know, how you get one thing and it turns to another, and who knows where it'll be, because you got all these ingredients. You could fucking make whatever the fuck you want. And sometimes you don't even know what you're about to make and it comes out amazing. And sometimes you don't know what you're going to make and it's fucking garbage. But either way, you're still making that potion, you know?
Yeah. And let's say you're making a pizza, right?
Oh, I'm with it.
You get the foundation, right?
It all starts with the foundation, baby.
Let's say you had something in the past that it didn't really work well. You thought it would do well, right? Yep. And that's like a double entendre with like recording, right? So like you're trying to create something, you put it there, it didn't work one time. Next thing you know, you're making a normal cheese pizza, and you're like, holy shit, this would go great on top.
Yep.
And then you sprinkle it on top, you add your fucking meats, veggies, boom, and then guess what? It's all there and perfect. And at the end, you kind of go over, is it too much? Is it too little? But like in that middle ground where you're like, can I add more? Do I need to take out? Keep it simple.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
A little example, I made myself a fucking banging ass lasagna last night, not to be totally off the fucking topic, but I bought myself 3 different types of cheeses, right? And we could label each of these cheeses different genres, right? If we're making the metaphor of music. And I told myself, the mozzarella has a lower melting temperature, so I'm going to put that on the bottom. And then I got the sharp cheddar mozzarella mix to go in between, right? The second layer. And then I had that Parmesan for the top, because the top has a super high melting temperature. That way I can get the heat all the way through, and then the top will be nice and brown, right? Because it's got that high temperature. What I ended up doing is I mixed up the bags on accident, didn't realize I put the Parmesan down first, right? So it totally fucked everything. But what I realized was I made myself a big ass tray of this shit so I could like eat it, like for a few days, whatever. That's what I do. And I realized by doing that, it preserved it so much better. So when I put that shit in the microwave and I do it again, it's fucking banging, right? And if I had done it how I thought I was doing it, wouldn't have been the same.
Sometimes accidentals work, especially in the music industry.
That's for sure.
If you think like, all right, let's say like you take that, your Parmesan, you put it on the bottom, right? Let's say you did that with ad libs and you fucked up some ad libs, but then you go back and listen to it and the shit fucking is hot as hell. If you put some reverb and delay on it.
Oh my God. And then it's like I said, that the lasagna ages better, like it gets better as it sits in the container. Like then you go back and listen to that song again. And maybe you say, you know what, that accidental ad lib, I'm going to do that again on this song because it ages like fine wine, it gets better because you go back and you're like, holy shit, you get that realization again. You're like, yes, let's go.
Oh yeah. Dude,
so
I think about that sometimes in my beats, bro. Sometimes I make a shitty ass beat and I leave it there, and then I go back and listen to it like a year or two later, put it on the subs in the car, and that shit knocks.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Shit aged well, like,
dude.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you might have seen on my Snapchat like a few days ago. I spam my Snapchat because that's what I do when I'm bored. I'm sitting here because I can't do nothing, right? So I'm going through my old music, and I said on my Snapchat, I was like, I got to do more music like this because it's trippy, and it was from like 3 years ago. And people are blowing me up because now I got more fans. Now I got more people looking. They're like, that's good as fuck. And I'm like, yeah, why didn't you hear that 3 years ago? But that's what I'm about to bring back to the surface. We're going to do that again.
Dude, throwaways make the best new opportunity. Like, oh my God, dude. I was thinking about like the styles of music I make, and like I made some like kind of like Daft Punk type shit.
Daft Punk is good shit.
Back when I had, what was it? I think it was Dark Nights. I had this Daft Punk song called Party Monsters. And it was just like, my vibe was to kind of go with the Weekend sound. Mm-hmm. And like, I listened back to it after 2 years. I'm like, holy shit, I was onto something. Like,
right.
Because like now the retro style is coming back. It's just, you saw Tory Lane's like retro album, and you hear fucking The Weeknd come out with this new album, and it's now like top 2 in the world. And it's just like, bro, I had it fucking going. Why don't I just start mixing it up more? Because like as an artist now, like my mind already is, when I make albums, I go R&B, rap, pop, fucking underground, and it's just like all as well. And I'm just like, it's a good thing I fucking stuck to that, because it's just like, if I kept doing one thing, it would just mean the worst for like my career.
Right. So we're talking about your career. Like, what is your biggest accomplishment where you are today? Like, what are you the most proud of that you've ever done in all your works? I don't care if it's working with somebody. I don't care if it's just a project that you like so much it takes precedence, or like what's in your mind the best thing you've ever done?
I think if I take it back to like when I was like a young teen, like preteen to teen, I think my best accomplishment was just like taking it back to high school, you were at the same high school as me, right?
Yeah.
So I think it was better that I wasn't treated as like the popular kid,
Dude, I feel
because
you.
that's what kind of fueled me to do like unique shit, as opposed to me just going and doing sports that I didn't like. And it was just like, I'm happy that like with all that depression and shit, it's just like out of that came like this beast that wanted to make beats. And now I'm
Yeah.
like 8 years in making beats, and now I'm just fucking just anything I touch just turns into something good quick. And like then that made me think, like as a younger kid, I used to sing a lot, and I was just like, dude, now I have it all set up for myself. So I
Right.
would like to say, honestly, my biggest accomplishment is believing in myself and taking risks on what I made.
Yeah.
Because like, yes, I'm thankful for the connections that I did and or have made, and people that told me to go work with somebody else, because now that I brought myself up to be this producer, artist, person, like everything after that just kind of been me attacking every opportunity. Like right after this fucking meeting, I'm going to the studio and meeting with an artist that I used to know back when I was being mentored, and he wants beats. So like now I can bring him a whole fucking pack of beats and probably make somewhere between 50 to like $300 in a night.
Right.
And
Right.
it's
Right.
just like, so yeah, my favorite or like my best accomplishment was just kind of like believing in myself and listening to the closer friends that I had, because those people are the
Yeah.
ones that kept me in track to bring myself to who I am now. And the people that still stick by me and say that I'm gonna be big one day, dude, I'm probably gonna like buy him a fucking car or a house if I ever blow up. I'm being 100% like
Yeah,
serious
dude,
right
that's what it's
now.
all about. You got to give back to the community that builds you up, And you were talking
Mhm.
about attacking opportunities. I like the way you say that, attacking opportunities, because I see so many artists, instead of attacking opportunities, they measure opportunities, right? And it's not every day that you get any opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so like as an artist, like you said, you should be taking every opportunity, because you don't know where any of these opportunities are going to be taking you, right? Like you're taking the time to come out on the WarCast podcast, and this is only
Mhm.
going to be episode 3, like where we haven't really gotten anywhere with it. Not that it's not going to go anywhere, but
Yeah,
you're
but
taking,
who's to say that like fucking Travis Scott looks at this shit and he's like, holy shit,
yeah.
these guys kind of got something, you know?
And we're like, our whole group, like we sit down and we don't just like put the music out. There's so many like groups that think it is enough to just make the music and get it sharing around and all that type of thing. But when like a group like us has this channel where we can sit down in front of each other and have a conversation, it proves that much more what we're capable of, because they can sit back and hear our conversations and then see the music, like they say, like,
Oh
okay,
yeah.
these are the ideas they're talking about. And then here it is in practice, right? And it all aligns and it makes more sense. And it's just that much more proof that we're fucking on the way.
Oh yeah. And it's music is more than just fucking talking about killing people and all this robbing people, fucking their bitch. It's like it's more than that. It's more about the personality you put into it. And it's about learning from those mistakes, learning from all of those great tracks that are put out. It's all about communicating and having like a team. I
Right.
believe in having a team,
Yeah. And
because
this,
you're not going to get up there by yourself.
right. And this Warcast is such a great way for the people who know you to see you for who you are. Like when you're sitting here just having a conversation with me, you're a little bit
Mhm.
different here, than you are in your music, because you're trying to put out that certain specific thing in your music. And then when you're sitting here talking to me, you're Damian Adams, we're just chilling, having a good time, so they can really see who you are.
Oh yeah.
So what would you classify your own personality as? Like what type of person are you?
Well, one, I'd say I'm an asshole. Just kidding.
Damn, just like
Well,
that. He
I
says it just
mean,
like that.
well, I mean, I like to be as forward as possible, speak what's on my mind and say what I mean what I say. But I also like growing up, I was like brought up by like my grandmother, right? Very loving and caring person, disciplinary, but like very sweet with everything. Like if you were to get, you know, yelled at, it doesn't get through. So like disappointment hurts me more than anger.
Okay.
So as a person, I like to kind of push out this whole like show yourself respect, but show everybody else respect, but don't take disrespect lightly. So I just try to be friendly and I don't overdo it. So you only need to give so much to people. You all that extra shit needs to go to yourself.
Right.
So, you know.
So talking about disappointments, what's something in the industry that you were extremely disappointed in, and how did you put that towards yourself?
I'm disappointed in how fake the industry is.
Fake. You got an example?
Well, people like to think that getting a deal is going to make them famous, but
a lot of times it fucks you sideways.
Yeah, exactly. Like Rich the Kid, Young Thug, they're both in debt right now.
Lil Xan, he's fucked. He's fucked.
They have to make extra songs just to make, break even with those labels, because everything they own is not theirs. It is the labels until they make double that to make profit.
And that's why you came on down and signed with War Media, baby. Let's go.
But yeah, other than that, like, people are fake. People don't care about you. Like, that's real life. Nobody gives a shit about you.
And sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, like, yeah, so like when you're going about life in general, or even music, it's just like the only person that's gonna be there for you, just like in real life, is yourself. And if people give you good criticism, listen to it. Don't take it to heart. Listen to it. Look back at your stuff, figure out how you can do better, but do it for yourself. Don't do it for anybody else. Do it for yourself.
I totally agree. And that's something that everyone I've interviewed so far, that is something they've said. When you take something personally, that can be your demise. That can be death sentence for artists. If you carry something like that with you, it's like, I saw this professor, I don't know if you've seen this video, but he was holding a glass of water, right? He walked into the classroom and he says to the students, how heavy is this glass of water, right? And they're all saying like, oh, like, I don't know, like quarter pound, whatever the fuck they were saying. And he goes, well, it depends on how long I hold on to this glass of water. Like if I hold on to it for an hour, I'm going to start getting tired. If I hold on to it for 2 hours, I'm going to be thinking like, I can barely hold this thing anymore. And if I hold on to it for a whole day, my arm's going to collapse and it's going to come crashing down. You ever seen that?
I don't know, but I hear the metaphor in it. Yeah.
So he's like, it's the same thing when you take criticism. Like if you take it to heart and you hold it with you and you carry it around with you, it is going to wear you down until you hit the ground and fucking break, just like that glass,
Here's my example. I'm giving this, right? It's my criticism. I'll look at it, right? Okay.
Cast that to the side, get the nutrients out. You're good to go.
Like, think about it. I took it in, took a taste of it, let it sit, put it down. If I want to go back to it later, I'll take another sip.
That's facts. That's big facts.
But I'm gonna sip on this bourbon first.
You gotta hydrate before you hit the alcohol. I know how it is.
Exactly. You gotta have a chaser.
See, we're gonna get a CocaCola sponsor on the War Media here soon. All right.
Oh yeah, big old Coca-Cola. Watch us get fucking taken down.
Fuck them.
Goes on YouTube.
This is how we do it, baby. Just kidding. We're not affiliated with Coca-Cola. Not yet. All right. Coca-Cola, you're seeing this shit. We got open doors, open arms. We take everything to heart. All right.
We need it.
We fucking need it. No joke. No joke. So I don't know if you saw the last, did you see the Snowy Joe interview?
I did. I actually watched that one a little bit more than the first one.
Yeah.
No disrespect to BTB, but I already know
for sure.
Fucking love him.
We know how all these things go. Each episode is going to get better as it goes, and that's why I was kind of thinking like Snowy Joe is I think we can say is bigger than all of us. I mean, he's not in the same industry.
But not in the music though.
That's true. That's very true. But for someone like us, like it's important that when we do it's very good because we know people are going to see it out, or like the people that know him are going to expect it to be good, So like,
of course,
I was almost thinking to myself, like, maybe we should do more of these interviews, get them out of the way, and then we can really lock it down. Because obviously we had some major issues with the first one, and the second one had some issues. But this one, hopefully, so far, is going to be the best one out there.
I hope so too, and I hope it just gets better for everybody else.
Right? That's the way it goes. You live and learn. That's what we're talking about here, right? I mean, but
we wanted to get nice and rich and oaky.
That's right. Rich and oaky. That's what we're about. We're in CT. We're surrounded by these oaks. We take it all in. You know how it is.
Yeah.
So in the beginning of that interview specifically, I said, we're here to get the artist to spill the beans, right? So here we go. I'm going to drop a bomb. Are you ready for this?
Let's go.
I heard, and this is how I said it to Snowy Joe, I heard through the grapevine, you had some fucking beef with some motherfucker named TooFaced. Jesus,
No
fuck. I heard about this fucking dude, and I said, fuck this dude. You know, he's got nothing. What is he thinking? What's going on with this? So break it down for me. How does that all work? What happened with that?
All I want to say is TooFaced is a complete loser. No, I'm just kidding.
That's what I heard. I heard the same thing. I heard the same thing.
That whole thing. Just how like the music industry is fake. Sometimes you got to start some shit up with some fake shit.
That's it. That's what it is. I mean, it's kind of like I was saying to somebody, they were like, oh, I forget who the artist was. I'm just going to say two random ones just for an example. Like the Kanye West in The Game just dropped that song. Did you see that?
I think I did.
So,
not sure.
Anyways, the point is, that's a real thing. They really did just drop a song together. But someone was saying to me, like, oh my God, I didn't realize The Game and Kanye West were homies. And I was like, they're not. It's called business. You know, like, it's not like they're tight, they're friends. And I mean, me and you, I'd say we're friends, you know, like we don't have anything real going on, right? But we kind of like built that up and made it what it was. And do you think in the end it was beneficial for you?
Dude, the whole idea was the whole 6ix9ine thing was going around. So I was just like, if people are so clumsy to fall for that.
It's true. It's so true. And people, I mean, like when we did that, I had the best interactions with people from our area.
So did I.
Exactly. So it's almost like me and you are playing our fans, you know, because they don't know.
It's 100%, 120%.
They can't see behind the scenes.
They just see two people from their school or in their fucking state, and they're just like, oh, these guys aren't shit. And then all of a sudden controversy hits, and they're like, oh, let me tune in. And that's how it is in the industry. It's if there's no controversy, nobody's gonna fucking listen. So that's another thing that brings me back to why I hate the industry so much, but I love the music. It's because when you're making just music and people who are real, they listen to it. They're like, all right, I can get behind this. But you know, all those kids out there, and no offense to kids or whatnot, they're growing, they're learning, they'll learn how this works sooner or later. But people that don't grow up will only live off controversy. In the end, their careers will fail.
It's true. It's totally true. And it's like what we were saying. I don't know if it was this one or the last interview or whatever it was, but we were saying like, if you can't be the bigger person, right? If you can't like see past these things, how it's going to negatively hurt you. And me and you both, we decided this, you know, like we were talking and we said, okay, we're going to do this. We know what's going on. And I feel like it kind of tested us both in a way. Cause I feel like some other artists, if it wasn't you, they would have actually been like pissed off, you know, like they actually would have been like, fuck this dude, you know, like, but that's the way it goes.
So exactly. So it's like, it's being able to take it and not take it personally. And the thing is, as well, is like, I don't really beef with people, but if I do, I know way too much. It's not even worth me going to do anything, because if I say something and the people come to me with information, I don't have to do a fucking ounce of work. People will come to me because they know that I'm real, I'm a stand-up guy, and they come to me because they know I know the reality of things and I'm actually a nice guy. But like, I've had times where I've had beefs and I made a song that completely tripled to like 10 times over their stuff and ruined them. And it's just like, that's kind of fucked. I don't want to do that. But at the same time, like, I'm a real artist. Don't step in my area because you're not going to like it, because I don't do that kid around shit. Right. You know, I've done it. I do it here and there to fuck around because it's fun. It builds controversy, which people fucking love for some reason, but I hate it.
They eat it up like it's their last meal, you know?
Exactly. But like I said, people who are with me, if you say anything to people who are with me, you're not going to like what I have to say about it.
Right. And I mean,
that's
with our whole thing, it was kind of unique in the way where my like you're the R&B and I'm the darkness, you know, like our fan base in general have totally different opinions. So how are you even going to compare the two of the things if everyone that listens to me likes mine and everyone that listens to yours likes yours? Of course, anyone that hears yours is going to be like, that's it. That's the winner, you know, and then whoever hears mine that already likes me is going to be like, that's it. So it's kind of like,
want to know what's crazy? The amount of people that don't know who I am and don't know that I'm versatile, when I actually go and rap, they're like, oh, I didn't expect he could do this shit. And I'm like, that's why I don't do it. Keep you on your toes. And one, I'm versatile. Don't play me in this field. I know every single aspect of it. Been doing it longer than anybody else has. You need to not fuck with me on this area because I'm a producer first. I have to know every aspect.
Right.
So it's like, be careful with, and this is for everybody, be careful with who you're talking to because you don't know a single thing about who they are. And that's why I don't enjoy or like any beefs, because you don't know where it's going to go, because somebody who could be talking doesn't know about the person who's silent.
So right. And I was just going to say the silence, I've learned, I've always been a quiet guy. You know, like when I get on this podcast, I come across as super loud and the opposite, because I know that's how I hold people's attention. But like in my real life, I'm so quiet. I don't say nothing ever. And I could tell you, like, I don't want to get into like the logistics of it and bore everybody, but like, you might even know the story. Like I was in a bar talking to someone and it turns out that was fucking 6ix9ine's manager. And I was at this rap show. Right. So then I already knew who he was, but I didn't tell him who I was. Right. I just said like, yo, on this whatever. And we talked, I bought him drinks and I didn't even like, you can't go into something like that asking for favors. You know, you have to build that relationship first. So like, then I let a few weeks go by and he had another little thing going on in the States. So I sent him an email and it was like, he knew who I was and he was willing to listen because I gave him the light first, you know?
Yeah. It's being quiet and reserved is better than being outspoken and have nothing to back it. So it's,
right.
You know, and especially with those relationships. And if somebody's like, oh, I'm this manager, I'm this person's manager, you can't like, oh, you should hear my shit. No, you want to not kiss their ass, but you want to be a normal human being. Cause then you're approachable and they'll be like, hey, so like, what do you do for your, I'm like, oh, I'm also like an artist or in my field and it's in your field too. I'm also like, I do this too. I'm like, oh, cool, can I hear something? And then that's when like you in the shadows of everything, like we're Batman, we build up and we train our shit and like
right,
you know, like we build it all up. So like when those times happen, we have it all packed and ready to like hit them in the gut and they're like, oh God, where have you been? And like, I've been just sitting back.
And that works so well too, because these people who are really up there already, like in the industry, they know better than you or me how fake the industry is. So when you come across and you're humble, they're like, we need more people like that. We need to build this guy up because he's a good person, you know?
Oh yeah. Can't agree with you any more than that. Like that is, and I'm thankful that I have people around me that when I was growing up taught me to be humble because it worked out.
Do you think that's like because of like living and growing up with your grandparents?
Oh yeah, because there was like a level of discipline where it's just like it doesn't need to be said. It you know, like their actions explain more. So like when you're living in a nice peaceful environment, don't think it's just everything's handed out to you. It kind of goes down, it falls down the ladder. Like if you notice that everybody in the family, like whether it's old, middle, or young, you know, and in my case, I had the middle where it was kind of like the middle ground, and where I was growing up was like very shaky. But that initial bring up to now beats what happened in the middle. And like through my whole life, I was just very kind and honest and like, couldn't, you know, and like that is a big trait that will carry out with your whole life.
Oh, for sure.
And that's just like, yes, your upbringing helps out a lot, but like learning from your peers around you and like being able to be smart enough to learn what people do and how they move is very crucial, because you'll understand what real is. Real meets real and fake meets fake all the way.
Right. And now going back a little bit to when you said you were glad that you were like the more unpopular person in school. And then you carry the burden, right? You like carry this burden of not being something, but then when you get all the skills and everything, you kind of learn to like let go of those things, right? Because you're like, it was worth it. And then you have this big piece of you that you're like letting go, right? Now you got this big empty space, and that is the space where you fill with all your blessings, right? That's what you take, you fill in with all the positive attributes that you realize this sacrifice was necessary.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because being the most unpopular person now, when I like show that in music, I have a lot of the people that hated on me sucking my dick.
Right. I'm going to say this, since I've already done like, a few of these interviews now, only one of them was with an artist on our label, but I can tell like when even just doing it a few times, like, I've been on shows, I've done things myself, and I'm not going to have my own interview because I'm the host, whatever. But like, I can tell when I sit down and I'm like, okay, I'm going to ask you questions. I can see how people react, like for example, when I ask you questions, it's not like you sat there all day, like, oh my God, I got this interview later, I better have myself all together. It's like,
I sat on my bed waiting for it.
Yeah, dude. But
I was fucking playing fucking Spider-Man. I'm like, all right, I got an interview in 5 minutes. Let's get to it.
Dude. But like, and like, see, like it's like it wouldn't matter what I asked you. You would always know what you're gonna do, right? So like Snowy Joe, I could tell like in his mind, I mean, not in his mind, he is very successful. Like, but to come on a show like this for him it's not a big deal. And you probably noticed too, nothing on BTB. We had a great interview. With his interview, it seemed like he was a little more nervous. Not that he was nervous, but like
he's new to it.
Yeah, he wasn't really sure what to expect, So like,
and
that's important for us to show too, because like as he progresses and he learns and he gets better at these types of things, he's gonna be not more ready, but he's gonna be more like relaxed and free to answer these questions. And then he can go back to that first interview and be like, wow, I'm doing a good job now,
Yeah, I've had so many encounters with like terrifying people, and it's just like you get so used to it now. Like these are just we're just talking. We're two people talking, bro. It's like
the president of the United States is just a person,
Exactly, just like our musicians in the world. Like even if you're famous or not, you're just talking. Like you're showing that personal level. And like Brad BTB, he's new to it. This is my first interview. I'm sure that was his first. The only difference is I've had so many communications fail, do well, or just be kind of neutral. So I'm already used to like dealing with people, I've had jobs where I've dealt with people, and I already understand like how easy it is to just talk to people and like the real people, like actually communicate with people and make it easy to talk to. Cause it's like building on your social constructs and like understanding how to talk to people, knowing social cues is like that'll get you far. And
like, for
understanding sure. Like, and like an interview, if you have questions about like that TooFaced, I heard you diss TooFaced, like
it's all fun and games, it's all fun and games.
It's funny because it's like, is that gonna hurt me? No, because I don't care. It was fun, and guess what? It did us good. It did.
Yeah. For us, And if I wasn't who I was, I might have not even brought it up. But I guarantee that's going to be the best part of this entire interview.
It's so funny
for other viewers,
Why do people care? Like, why do you care so much about the insignificant pieces when you could be worrying about the real stuff? 90% of this whole interview was talking about real shit, but people are gonna be like, "Oh, they were talking about TooFaced and how it was fake." Like,
yeah, but
that not take any advice from this whole interview.
I'm going to tell you this: it's because the little insignificant things are the easiest to attack. They don't want to have to try to wrap their minds around these big topics. It's easier for them to gravitate towards the lesser things because people are lazy.
You want to know what I say to clients that do that shit? I say, you can get the fuck out.
That's right. There's plenty of doors and you can use any of them.
And I got plenty of clients that can come right through that door.
Exactly.
I just got a text right now telling me I have a studio session tonight. And it's, you got to treat life like it's like, you got to dust it off your shoulder because there's more opportunities coming for you.
Right. And I feel like this I don't even know how long this has been going, but it's been going a good while.
Yeah.
I could probably sit here and talk to you all night, but we're going to wrap it up soon. So like, I just want you to just do two more things for me. You can take as much time as you'd like. I don't care. I know you got business to handle. Time is money and all that. So I want you to tell me how you think this interview went and how it's gonna, help you, or how you felt about it. And then after you're done with that, just go ahead and give us your socials and tell us what's next for you. What should we be expecting? Where should we be looking? And then we're gonna wrap it up.
All right, so let me get my phone open so I can get you the socials. But yeah, I think this interview went well. I think what people need to understand is that looking at insignificant things will only get you so far. If you're looking for some quick time to like get limelight, it's not worth it. Sit on the stuff that's significant but doesn't seem like it, because real will always prevail over fake.
Facts.
And try to be as real as you can to yourself and the people around you. Or if you don't have people around you, be even realer. Be somebody who's isolated, because I like to stay like that. Because the more I do that, the more people that gravitate towards me, because I'm kind of like, oh, what is he doing? Guess what? I'm just chilling in my fucking room. Like, but guess what? Hey, I got time today. Like,
right.
Yeah. But yeah, good interview. I think there's a lot of real stuff to talk about. And, if there's anybody that feel left out from me talking about in this, whoever's in the label and whatnot, if you guys want to do work with me, let me know. I'm more than humble enough to, do work with you, and I'll do it for free. Yeah, Saint T, very good artist. I like how he's kind of gravitating towards helping everybody else. It's very good for his area. BTB, keep doing what you're doing. And Ruben and all of them, all you guys, look for more opportunities. Hit me up if you want. And anybody watching this, if you want to do music, hit me up. I'm going to give you my socials. I'm very easy to work with. And yeah, just kind of stay real.
That's good all. Shit. That's what it's all about. Keep it 100. No capping here.
Keep it 100, bro. All right. So my socials, I'm sure that Reese will leave it in the thing, but my socials, if you want to add me on Snapchat, it's Damian A 2020, DAMIAN A 2020, lowercase. On Instagram, it is, you can look me up. I'll probably pop up. It's just Damian Adams, but the tag name is Damian, DAMIAN _ Adonis, which is my production handle, my producer name, and it's ADXNIS, Damian _ Adonis, ADXNIS. And yeah, those are really my main two socials. Hit me up anytime. Like to talk to anybody.
Good shit. So we're gonna wrap it. Well, go ahead.
Don't fuck with us, because if you end up fucking with me, I stand for all my friends on here.
That's what I like to hear, baby. We don't play no fucking games. Pull up, get smoked. We're ready to rip, all right?
Don't fuck with me on the music level. You won't like it.
A bunch of lions and tigers and bears out here.
Much love to you, TooFaced, and much love to everybody in the label and anybody else out there striving to be positive. Stay positive. Don't let any of the fake shit get to you, and much peace and love.
Good shit. So you've seen it here first. We just wrapped up our interview with our boy, Damian Adams, aka Daddy Adams. He's got his handle here. He's ready to go fuck some bitches. He's got some work to do, so we're got to head out. But stay tuned, because we've got plenty of more interviews on the way. If you enjoyed this interview, I'm going to need you to go ahead, hit the subscribe button. It's easy to find. You can find it. It's right down below.
Smack that bitch.
Smack that shit until she cries, and then turn on that bell so that when we drop more notifications, you'll see that shit and you won't miss it, because I guarantee you don't want to miss it. We're here to spill the fucking beans. The beans are all over the place. Good luck picking them up, because we're spilling them faster than you can handle. Anyways, this has been fun. It's been real. Welcome to War Media. Welcome to the War. Welcome to the WarCast, and we'll catch you next time.